This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana makes car selling fast and easy from start to finish. Enter your license plate or VIN and get a real offer in seconds, down to the penny. If you accept, Carvana will come pick up your car from your driveway. Or you can drop it off at one of our car vending machines. Either way, you get paid instantly. It's fast, transparent, and 100% online. Car selling that saves your time. That's Carvana.
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
A message from McAfee. Wondering why the post office is texting you or why you owe thousands of dollars in toll fees? Because someone's trying to scam you. The good news? McAfee can help. With McAfee's award-winning scam detection, it's easy to tell what's real and what's fake over text, in your inbox, and online. If they're
You want a free gift?
Seriously? If they're faking it, they're not making it past us. Get award-winning scam detection today. McAfee.com/keepitreal.
Well, hello, it is Stephen Rothberg. I am the founder and chief visionary officer of College Recruiter. We believe that every student and recent graduate deserves a great career. We kind of sit at the intersection of early career and high volume hiring. And I'm really super excited about our guest today, despite the technical snafus that caused us to be a couple minutes late, and not his fault. I'm going to blame the software provider, our software provider, not his software company. To the visitors or the listeners that were wondering where the heck we were, technical matters beyond our control. But Matt Matt O'Connor is the chief revenue officer of PandoLogic. College Recruiter is a longtime partner of PandoLogic, and it's really great to have you with me. Do you want to tell people a little bit about your role at PandoLogic? I think you just joined, like 3 months ago, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Stephen, for having me. Really, really appreciate it. And I love the mission of College Recruiter. I, sit on the board of advisors of a college and spend a lot of time mentoring young kids and helping them get jobs when they graduate. So love the mission. I recently joined PandoLogic to head up the revenue, partnerships and channels and so forth. Spent 20 years in HR tech. I did do a small stint on the HR tech benefits side as well as the TA side. And super excited to be here today and to talk to you more about what we're doing.
Awesome. Yeah, you are definitely a longtime industry veteran. When I was looking at your LinkedIn profile, it's like, okay, basically he's worked for just about every leading company in the industry, which is pretty cool. You've seen it from both sides of the desk and also from the outside looking in. So this is great. So for the listeners who don't know, PandoLogic, from my perspective, definitely one of the top programmatic job ad distribution companies. Now, some of the listeners might not know what the heck programmatic means. They might not know what job distribution means. So maybe we can just sort of start off there. When you're talking with customers, training your salespeople, whatever, how do you explain to like a typical employer, like what is programmatic, what is job ad distribution?
Sure. Yeah. So very simply, the job advertising side, right? It's about using technology, okay? AI, automation, other forms of technology to purchase the jobs, distribute the jobs, optimize in the funnel, all the job ads, to do that across the budget, do it automatically, across the entire job board advertising ecosystem, okay? Uses algorithms and other advanced artificial intelligence and automation at scale. Job distribution, right, is really the ability to distribute jobs across thousands of media outlets or different media outlets at scale, to be able to efficiently and seamlessly do that and bring data points back in, sometimes applications tracking, et cetera. So really to take a lot of the human labor out of the process.
Awesome. And I've heard Chris Foreman, the CEO of Appcast, describe programmatic My words, not his. Programmatic for dummies. It's like having the machines, having the computer, PandoLogics in this case, make kind of the same decisions that a human would make. I've got this particular ad, these 1,000 ads, whatever. Where should they run? When should they start? When should they stop? And following the data. The data can see this ad performs best on this job board. This other ad performs best on that job board. This first ad, I'm going to run it for just the 3 days because the employer's received enough applications. And so I'm going to automatically stop it. This other one's going to run for 27 days because they want more people going to their ATS, whatever their metric of success is. So when you're talking about the efficiency and the automation, it's my view is it's not really doing anything that people couldn't do if you had about 1,000 people in the room doing that. Is that a fair way of describing it also?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it uses troves of data, right? And signals and insights from, years and years of advertising and job performance across sites and so forth to bring some sense to that. How do you target the right people on the right site at the right time for the right price? I mean, that's as simple as it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So well said. So hopefully that's helpful. If we can switch gears a little bit.
Sure.
One of the things that I hear, not as much anymore, as I think more and more people understand, what are the PandoLogics of the world? What is programmatic? What is cost per click? But I think that there's a misconception by some that programmatic means cost per click, that if you're doing programmatic, it has to be cost per click or cost per application. In my view, and you know more about this than I do, but in my view, you can have programmatic or you can have that performance-based advertising, cost per click, cost per application, but you don't necessarily have to have the two of them, right? Like you can do programmatic to job slots and just say, we have this slot, we get to run ads for 30 days. For 3 days, it's going to be this ad. For 12 days, it's going to be that. But usually they're used together, but not always. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, full programmatic capabilities to truly get the benefits of programmatic. Yeah. You need to use AI and automation. It's not just purchasing on a click basis. You have to use deep data and insights and algorithms and artificial intelligence and automation to be able to do that at scale and to be able to optimize real time in the funnel.
Yeah, and one of the other things that I think you kind of touched on with the insights, I think it was when you were talking about that caused me to think about it. One of the things that I love about PandoLogic's approach, and a couple other organizations do it in a somewhat similar way, different recipes, different ways of approaching it, but the theory in some ways is better. If you've got an ad from one employer, one client, that client has never run with you before, one of the benefits to working with dozens, hundreds of employers, I'm sure you've run like tens of millions of ads through your system, is that your system, through the use of, I think, AI, can say this ad is really similar to these other 1,000 that we've run in the last 30 days. So we don't have to start from scratch, fully random. We already have a really good idea of where that ad is going to work well or not. And then it watches and spends the money in a most efficient way, like the cost per application, keeping that the lowest, or getting the volume as high as possible, depending upon the needs of the employer.
Absolutely. I mean, there's location elements, there's skill elements, there's job title elements, experience, salary. It's using all of that information within the job ads to be able to figure out how to target, where to target, how to do that cost effectively. Absolutely.
Cool. And then for performance-based ads, when we're talking to some of our customers that are doing high volume hiring, one of the things that we tell them about paying on a cost per click, cost per application basis is if you need to hire, say, one person, you might want 20 applications. applications.
Hey, I'm Katie Van Horn.
And I'm Jackie Clayton.
We're your hosts of the Inclusive AF podcast, where we take on DEI, leadership, and HR without all the corporate fluff.
That's right. We've got decades of experience, a lot of opinions, and zero tolerance for performative anything.
Every week, we dig into what it really takes to build inclusive workplaces with honesty, strategy, and a few side eyes.
We'll talk about the tough stuff, power dynamics, privilege, what's broken in the system, and how we can all do better.
And don't worry, it's not all heavy. We bring receipts, laughs, and real talk from people actually doing the work.
Think of it as your weekly dose of truth, tips, and a little tea to help you lead with intention and show up for your people.
So if you're ready to push past the buzzwords and get into the actual work of inclusion,
you're in the right place. So subscribe to the Inclusive AF podcast.
New episodes drop every week.
Catch us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll be here breaking it down one inclusive convo at a time.
If you need to hire 1,000 people into that role, you need 1,000 times that, 20,000. And a traditional duration-based ad, $300 for 30 days, you're never going to be able to get those 1,000 applications. And so that's one of the really beautiful things that I see about this world that you guys are playing in every day. Now, speaking about AI, about, what was it, 2 years ago, I think, PandoLogic was acquired by Veritone, right? Yep. AI company, if I remember correctly, Veritone was a key vendor to PandoLogic. And then recently, a month ago now, PandoLogic acquired Broadbean. Can you speak to those acquisitions? What is Veritone? Why did it acquire PandoLogic? Why did it acquire Broadbean? How does that all fit together?
Yeah, sure. And I appreciate you. I know you've had Ryan and Alex on another podcast, but Veritone is a leader in the enterprise AI space. Okay, and they have deep ad tech roots. Ryan himself, I think he mentioned this. He started in the ad tech space in 1994. And he's, in the AI software.
There was tech in 1994. Just kidding.
Yeah, just starting. Imagine if we turned back our investment clock then, right? And so, Veritone had a lot of expertise in their enterprise AI software platform across multiple industries. Deep roots in ad tech, in the consumer side of programmatic advertising, right? And so it's just, it's a natural, as the recruitment space, slowly converts to programmatic advertising, it's really just a natural synergy with all the influence of AI, the AI work and the automation work that Pando was doing, and the deep AI and ad tech expertise that Veritone had. Just a natural match there. Continuing on that, to the lifeblood of AI is data. Okay. So, while Pando has this trove of data, Broadbean, huge data set, entrenched in the ecosystem, right? The advertising ecosystem, a lot of ATS integrations, right? The ability to scale that further, improve the insights, improve the data stack, and really accelerate some of those trends to programmatic. Again, it's not for everyone. Not everyone will go to programmatic, but the ones that will, be easier to do it in a combined fashion. And it's just a natural evolution of really the strategies that Veritone was looking at across multiple verticals.
Yeah, and Broadbean is just so strong in certain markets, like in Europe.
Oh yeah.
When I'm talking to people in the UK or in the European Union, Broadbean is just absolutely core.
Absolutely.
And so I'm sure that, for your area, for on the revenue side, it's going to be really awesome to bring PandoLogic to the Broadbean customers and to bring Broadbean to the PandoLogic customers. Like you said, programmatic's not for everyone. I mean, an employer hires 3 people a year. Pretty unlikely that programmatic is going to make sense. But you're hiring 300 people a year, 3,000 people a year. I can't imagine a world where programmatic doesn't make sense at that kind of scale.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I mean, what Broadbean does is Broadbean is an automation tool. Right. And so, and they have incredible connections to the ATSs and the apply flow and all of the data and signals within that. Right. So it's just a natural combination, really, of the two companies.
Yeah. Awesome. Matt, I'm just going to repeat something that you said slightly in my words and then let you say thank you or whatever you want to close with. But it's all about getting the right opportunity in front of the right candidate at the right time. You do that as an employer, you're going to have success. Any closing words?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's ways to use technology to continue to maximize ROI and improve the outcomes. I mean, ultimately, these tools, the technology exists to really, improve the outcomes of recruiting. Right, reducing time to hire, expanding the reach, time to fill, really just improving quality and retention. By the way, if you're targeting better earlier in the funnel in the hiring process, retention will increase as well. So, huge opportunities for the high volume hiring space to take advantage of programmatic, AI, automation, job distribution, and the benefits. And continue to leverage technology to be successful. Awesome.
Matt, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to PandoLogic. Welcome back into the industry. It's nice to see you on the dark side again.
Hey, Stephen, thank you very much. Thanks for the time. Thanks for your partnership with College Recruiter and all the great work you do in our space.
Cheers, man.
Thanks, Stephen. Take care.